Cody Atkinson here with Lewis and Clark State College Kinesiology Department. We're talking about taping ankles. The first thing you got to do in taping an ankle is make sure that you have all the right supplies. We got athletic tape, we got gauze pads, and we got pre-wrap. If you've got all three, you're ready to start taping. First off, you got to make sure that your athlete's foot is not hairy or sweaty. If you got a hairy foot, you may have to shave. You're going to be pulling all sorts of tape across this foot. You don't want any hair, any irritation from the athlete. If you got a sweaty foot, we're dealing with tape here. We're trying to make it secure. A sweaty foot is going to cause this ankle tape job to lose its security. And so once we've made sure of those, we might have to do a little bit of shaving of this athlete, but I think it's okay for now. She's just going to have to deal with it at the end. After you've made sure of those things, you're going to place your gauze pads on the crease of the foot and on the heel. Once you've got them on the crease and on the heel, you are preventing this athlete from getting blisters. And then we're going to take our pre-wrap. We're going to get our pre-wrap. First off, we need to make sure that your athlete has their foot constantly at 90 degrees. 90 degrees is going to give us the best opportunity to produce a good tape job. And then we're going to take our pre-wrap and cover the entire ankle. Now, with this pre-wrap along the ankle, we want to make sure that we smooth it out. We don't want any wrinkles. Again, wrinkles are going to cause this athlete blisters, and blisters are just things that athletes don't want to have to deal with. So, in this, we're going to take our time, making sure it's nice and smooth. We got it smoothed out. You want to cover every bit of the foot and the ankle that you're going to be using tape along. And you want to leave a little bit on the top for your first anchor, which we'll talk about in a second, so that we can have a secure anchor along the skin to be able to maintain and not get any looseness to the ankle tape job through sport. Once we got good pre-wrap, now it's time to grab our athletic tape. We got to make sure our entire ankle is pre-wrapped, our foot's at 90 degrees throughout. We got to keep the athlete's foot up at 90 here, as you can see, while we tape the ankle. And now we're going to start taping the ankle. The very first thing you're going to do is what's called the anchor. We're going to start with the anchor. And when you do this, the top of your tape is on the skin. Because if the top of the tape is on the skin, it's going to secure the ankle tape job. If it's just on the pre-wrap, what's going to happen is through competition, this athlete's tape job is going to get lower and lower and sink, and it won't be able to maintain where it's at. So we're going to start on the top, make sure that there's tape on the skin. We're going to go under and around, and that's our anchor. Now make sure we always rip the tape with our hands or scissors. We don't want to bite into the tape. We want a nice crease every time we rip. After our first anchor, we're going to do what's called a stirrup. We're going to start from the inside of the ankle, right where you place your first anchor. Go underneath the arch of the heel, or the arch of the foot, and then back up. And when we do this, we want to pull this tight. We'll get a rip with our hands. We're going to pull this up firm. We want this to secure the ankle well. So we're going to make sure that's firm. And then we'll go into another anchor. So this anchor, what it's going to do is going to be able to secure your first stirrup. Once we get that anchor around, again, the anchor is going to be slightly lower than your first anchor. It's going to cover about half of what your first anchor covered, halfway down. And then you're going to throw in another stirrup. Start from out to in. Go under the foot and up, and make sure that we pull tight. Once we have a tight, good grip, and we've done our two anchors and our two stirrups, we're going to start our figure eights. The figure eights are going to start the same spot you started the stirrup at, except for instead of going under and back up, we're going to cross the foot to the other side of the ankle and stop the tape there. And then, when we do another figure eight, we're going to start on the outside. Go under the foot, and instead of going up like we did on our stirrup, we're going to cross again to the other side of the ankle. Again, throughout this, we're making sure that our tape is smooth. It's not wrinkly. If it's wrinkly or loose, what's going to happen with the tape job is this athlete's going to get blisters. And as we mentioned, we don't want an athlete with blisters. That's an unhappy athlete. And so after we get our two figure eights in, we're going to do what's called a heel lock. The heel lock is the toughest part of this. What we're going to do is take the tape at about 45 degrees on the crease of the foot, the same place you put the gauze pad. And now you're going to go behind the heel. You can see here, I'm going behind the heel, up and back over the foot. After which, we're going to do the same thing along the opposite way. So now I'm going to go 45 degrees this way, go behind the heel, up and back across the foot. And now, you've got the support system of your tape job. Now it's really seeing spots and deciding where we missed. We have to make sure with our pre-wrap and our tape that every single spot is covered. So what we're going to do now, these are almost like horseshoes. They're going to go underneath the foot and then cover the back side and then be tightened towards the middle, towards the front of the foot. We're going to make sure that these cover all the pre-wrap. If we don't cover pre-wrap, again, we're talking blisters. And we don't want to have blisters with our athlete. Once we've looked around, we've decided, okay, I don't have any spots, there's no windows. I do have one myself to pick up here. Once we pick that up, okay, there is no windows to this tape job. I got all my spots covered. We're going to end with 2 anchors. So we're going to get on the very bottom of the tape job and anchor this thing to make it secure. Once we secure the bottom, we're going to add an anchor to the top to secure everything up again. Now that we've got that anchor, all you're going to do now is check and smooth it out. I got to admit, this tape job is pretty dang smooth. And what you want is a smooth tape job. It's all filled out. The athlete feels that their ankle's secure. They feel that it's going to hold in place and that it's going to help them through an injury and be able to participate in their sport.